Greetings fellow Decepticons, Soundblaster1987 here with another animation review. Today, as per the results of my recent community tab post, YouTube poll, I'll be looking back at one of the best 1990s sci-fi cartoons, Futurama. For those who don't know, Futurama was created by Matt Groening, the same person behind The Simpsons. Basically, it takes place in the year 3000 and follows a cryogenically frozen 1999 pizza delivery boy adjusting to life in the future, with alcoholic robots and all kinds of crazy alien chaos going on every which way, left, right and centre along the way. So, the story starts with Phillip J Fry, a lazy but still somewhat dedicated to his job pizza delivery boy from 1999 who was accidentally cryogenically frozen for 1,000 years on New Year's Eve. So he woke up on New Year's Day 3000. Having to adjust to life of the future, Fry has to get used to sentient money with talking people in the middle of it, robots that exist on purely drinking alcohol and being rude to everybody around them, suicide booth machines every which way on street corners, aliens walking the streets of Earth, and pneumatic tube transports taking people every which way, among other things. This is where Fry joins the Planet Express package delivery crew, with the mutant cyclops pilot Leela, the robot pickpocket Bender, the well-meaning but often clumsy crustacean doctor, Dr. Zoidberg, the Jamaican limbo and bobsled expert accountant Hermes, the Chinese descent born on Mars, spoiled rich brat Amy, who is more obsessed with her own cuteness than anything else, and the doddering but still intelligent Professor Hubert J Farnsworth. Farnsworth is actually a direct descendant of Fry from his older brother Yancey's descendant chain. So Fry is technically Farnsworth's great uncle from 1,000 years ago. This became a point of contention between the two at one point in the series, due to Professor Farnsworth's advanced age compared to young Fry. Farnsworth also created a younger cloned son of himself called Hubert at one point. Farnsworth, Hubert, Fry and Zoidberg were all voiced by voice acting legend Billy West, who you might know as the voice of Woody Woodpecker and Wooly Walrus from my previous Woody Woodpecker animation review. He also used the exact same voice as his Phillip J Fry depiction for the red M&M in the M&M's commercials, alongside J.K. Simmons as the yellow M&M. But that's another story. Back to Futurama. Amy was voiced by Lauren Tom, who you might remember as the voice of Number 3 from Kids Next Door. Hermes was voiced by the legendary Phil Lamar, who you might recognize as Jon Stewart from the Green Lantern Corps from the DC Animated Universe and several other projects, as well as Aquaman, Kotal Khan and several other characters from across various video games and cartoons. And most importantly, Kit Fisto from the 2008 Clone Wars cartoon. Then we've got John DiMaggio as the voice of Bender, who most of you will recognise as the voice of Jake the Dog from Adventure Time, Raph from Ben 10, Sandman from the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon, and several other characters, including Crosshairs from Transformers Age of Extinction and The Last Night. Katie Seagal is the voice of Leela, but I don't know any of her other animation work to this point, so I'll have to leave a link in the description for her IMDb page or something for those who want to do more research. Now, there was another main character of this series who was supposed to be voiced by Simpsons legend Phil Hartman, but sadly he was killed by his own wife before this could happen. So instead he was voiced also by Billy West doing an impression of Phil Hartman's voice. That was the creepy space adventure womanizer Zach Brannigan. Bit of an egomaniac who's got more libido than common sense. He tries to pass himself off as a somewhat flirtatious Buzz Lightyear type, but in reality he's just more like Cartoon Network's Johnny Bravo in a very short military tunic uniform. because Phil Hartman was supposed to use the same voice inflections that he used for Lionel Hutz and Troy McClure from The Simpsons to voice Zap Brannigan, but because he was killed by his own wife before Futurama could be produced, Billy West had to impersonate Hartman's famous voice for the job instead. Then, of course, Maurice LaMarche also came along as the long-suffering alien assistant of Zap Brannigan, Kif Kroker, who later became Amy's boyfriend. And there has so far been a total of 12 seasons of Futurama, all available on Disney Plus for those who want to watch them. And when I say 12 seasons, I mean technically there are only about 9 or 10 seasons, but there are also 4 movies as well that were split into 5 episodes each, which is the way they're depicted on Disney Plus. These movies include Bender's Big Score, Bender's Game, The Beast with a Billion Backs, and Into the Wild Green Yonder. Into the Wild Green Yonder features Amy's father, Leo Wong, trying to turn half the solar system into a cosmic golf course at the expense of a very rare species of alien, near-omnipotent life in the process. Bender's Game features Bender getting a little too addicted to Dungeons and Dragons, turning himself into a, fictional knight-type character called Titanius Anglesmith and suffering some kind of major mental health breakdown in the process. Bender's Big Score features Bender getting reprogrammed by a computer virus by a group of naked alien scammers that see him time-traveling through the course of human history using a tattoo of the secret to time travel that was accidentally placed on Fry's backside. And of course, Beast with a Billion Backs was a sentient tentacle planet called Evo that came through from another dimension due to the tears in the fabric of reality caused by too much use of the time travel code in the previous movie. And of course we can't forget about Leela's alien pet Nibbler, now can we? Voiced by Frank Welker in a few appearances where he does speak English, Nibbler is part of an extremely, hyper-intelligent race of cute aliens called the Niblonians, with a third eye on a stalk that hangs out of their foreheads. And Nibbler has the ability to communicate telepathically with other species as well as verbally. He uses his cute and unassuming pet disguise as a means of remaining undercover for his mission to protect Leela and the Planet Express crew from further threats. And he has the ability to erase the minds of those he's spoken to make them forget he can talk in the first place to cover his identity. So, with that being said, I do recommend watching Futurama for those who are fans of sci-fi, robots, or the cast of The Simpsons. There have been Simpsons crossovers with Futurama. Bender appears in the background of some scenes of certain Simpsons episodes, and there was the season 26 Simpsons Futurama crossover special, as well as a 2-part Simpsons Futurama crossover comic book called The Infinitely Secret Crossover Crisis, which I do recommend to anybody that wants to read it. So, with that said, that concludes my animation review of Futurama. I have been Sandblaster1987, thanks again for watching. Sorry for the length of this video, but animation reviews have to be more in-depth than my toy reviews. So, with that being said, my next toy review will be the figurized standard Kamen Rider Den-O sword form model kit, and my next animation review will be, let's see now, Season 1 of X-Men 97. With Season 2 on the way, it seems a good time to cover the first series. With that said, till all are one.